Good morning, everyone. Appreciate each one being here this morning on our meeting for July the 6th. Hope everyone had a great July the 4th. Look like y'all did anyway, so appreciate you being here. As well, if you would take a second or two and put your phone on silent, would be appreciated. As always, we will open up in a word of prayer, and Mickey Puckett will give the prayer, and Supervisor Brandon will lead us in the pledge. So if you would, us all please stand. Mickey.
Lord God, we just finished a great weekend celebrating the blessings that you've bestowed on this country for 250 years, and it went on for quite a while before that clock even started. I just ask you as we enter this meeting, give us each the wisdom we need to make good decisions, give us the energy and the motivation we need to carry out business for the people we represent as we sit in this room. And God, we just thank you for the blessings, and I hope we can count on 250 more years. Help us to act like we belong to you as we enter the next phase in this country. In your name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
All right, join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Supervisor Brandon. Thank you, Mickey, for the prayer. All right, we're going to start, Mr. Lott.
Yes, Mr. President, you should have before you the June the 15th board minutes. I'd ask if there are no changes, the board please approve said minutes.
Are there any changes to the minutes? If not, do I have a motion for approval? Motion Supervisor Banks, do I have a second? I have a second. Second Supervisor Griffin, discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay, moving down to, well, we got them on concerned citizens, but I'm not sure that's the right place to put them, but Commissioner Simmons, has he made it in yet? I see. Okay, I know our elevator is not working this morning, so we may have to give him another minute or so. With that being said, let's move down to, what's that, Jonette Johnson? If you would, please come up and just state your name, and we'll come back to Commissioner Simmons and the Executive Director, Brad White.
Good morning.
Good morning. If you would, state your name and give your address just for the record, please.
My name is Jonette Johnson, 993 Dry Creek Road, Canton, Mississippi.
Dry Creek.
Okay, I have it written in my phone, so I'll be quick. I'll try. All right, my name is Jonette Johnson. I am here because my family and other residents in this community and our community of Sharon have exhausted every reasonable avenue we know to address an ongoing situation that is destroying the peace and quality of life in our neighborhood. This isn't about an occasional party. This is not about neighbors being unwilling to tolerate normal noise. This is about a repeated pattern of extremely loud music and gatherings associated with the property occupied by Fred Luckett at 775 Potluck Road. Music from this property can be heard from an extraordinary distance. Parties are held with DJs, industrial lighting, food trucks, crowds of people. The property, including the home and pool, is advertised or used for gatherings that create significant disturbances for the people who actually live in the community. It does not stop with those parties. On random nights, music is played for hours, sometimes continuing until 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. The direct neighbors living beside this property are all in their 80s. I want the board to think about that. People who have worked their entire lives, paid taxes, maintained their homes, and should be able to sleep peacefully at night are instead being subjected to music so loud that it can be heard far beyond the property where it originates. These residents have told me and others that they have missed church on Sunday because they were kept awake until 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, and we have tried to resolve this. We have attempted to speak with the family. We have repeatedly come to the board, what exactly are we supposed to do? How many times should elderly people, my grandmother, my aunts and uncles, be awakened in the middle of the night before someone with authority decides that they matter. How many times should residents have to call law enforcement? How many complaints must be filed? How many officials must be contacted? At what point does someone say enough? The absence of a noise ordinance should not mean the absence of responsibility. It should not mean that one household has unlimited freedom to disrupt an entire community while everyone else is told there is nothing that can be done. We are here because we need guidance, we need advocacy, we need someone with knowledge of county government and authority to act, to help us determine what can be done. The people suffering from this situation are citizens of Madison County, and they feel forgotten and uncared for. Their inability to sleep peacefully in their homes should matter, though it does not directly affect this board. Their frustration should matter, even though you don't have to live beside their property. Their quality of life should matter, even though it doesn't personally affect you, because that's what your representation means. You don't fight for the problems that affect you personally, you fight for the people who trusted you to represent them. I need the board to understand how deeply this situation can affect a person. I have ultimately chose to move. I moved because I recognized how much anger, frustration, and resentment I was beginning to carry from repeatedly watching people I love lose the peaceful enjoyment of their homes. I moved from a school district that I always wanted my children to attend for my peace. I moved away because I did not want my anger and frustration to lead me into a confrontation or a situation that could have lasting consequences. I should not have had to leave. My parents and my neighbors cannot leave. I am also concerned that the message being sent when residents repeatedly ask their elected representative for help and receive no meaningful response, while people with significant financial resources and influence appear able to continue their activities without consequence. It feels like these residents are easier to ignore than others. It creates the perception that money, influence, or connections may determine whose concerns receive attention and whose concerns can be dismissed. And when the government allows that perception, I lost my spot.
I believe we're getting your point, though.
Okay.
I believe we're getting your point.
So ultimately, I'm asking for guidance on what we can do.
Okay. Supervisor Griffin or the sheriff?
I have talked to a couple neighbors down there over the past couple of years. I don't know, have I talked to you or not, Mr. Johnson?
You talked to me before, maybe like a year ago.
And I did refer y'all to the sheriff's department because of loud music. We didn't have, the board of supervisors didn't have no control right over it as it's happening right then. The sheriff's department could go out there and ask them to turn that noise down. So, and I'm glad you come here because we got to put our heads together to see where do we go next. Is this a Scott situation or is this a sheriff situation? Sheriff, you know anything about it?
This is my first hearing about it. Can I ask a couple of questions? Does this Fred Luckett live on Dry Creek?
Potluck.
It is.
Potluck?
That's it.
Have y'all pressed charges against him?
We've tried. I know myself and at least 3 other people have done disturbing the peace.
Have those charges been to court?
Not that I know of. I've never heard anything after we did that.
Okay, I would suggest contacting the court to see where those charges stand, but I'm gonna give you my number. I understand your frustration. This is the first I've heard of it, and I'll look into it, but I'm gonna give you my number with my cell phone on it. I'll be glad to address it for you. This is the first I've heard of it. I understand you're frustrated, but I'll help you. Be glad to.
Okay.
So I have a question as well, if the sheriff is finished.
Hold on 1 second.
But understand, we can come out and take a report, but the court determines what level of disturbance is reasonable for you to be intruded upon, not the sheriff's department. We take the report, we file the report. You have to follow through with the charges with the court. That's a decision for the court to make. But I'll be glad to help you personally. I live out that way now, Supervisor Griffin's district, so I'll be glad to help you.
Okay. So after disturbing the peace, I guess everyone was waiting for them to contact us. We're supposed to kind of follow up with them.
Well, I think in a reasonable amount of time, if you hadn't heard from the court, you need to follow up and see where your charges stand.
Okay.
But, I'll be glad if, if you got a party going on, this is my number right here, my personal cell phone number. You call me directly. I know a guy. Okay?
Supervisor Brandon?
So, these parties that happen constantly, are they charging admission?
They, the parties, they do charge admission. The parties are not all the time. The music is kind of just, I guess, when they get together.
But the parties.
But when they
charge
have the
admission.
parties, they charge.
So, has the property been zoned for?
Not
being
that
able to
I know
charge
of.
for those
Nah,
parties?
this is his own.
Yeah, so, I mean, we have zoning requirements to be able to charge for party venues. You have to meet certain requirements, you have to meet certain sprinkle requirements. We've been dealing with this with another, location in the county where we have had to force them to do. Could we not use that as a leverage to shut down the parties that he is charging admission for these?
Absolutely, we can. That has to be a permitted authority. There are rules and regulations in place under our ordinance for that. They have to provide security, parking. There's a litany of things that they have to provide, in addition to that permit. We haven't been contacted, about a party.
Yeah. So,
Or
I mean-
I haven't seen anything that would indicate that, to my office, that would indicate
That
that
is
they've
a
filed for any
significant
type of.
avenue where we can intervene if they're charging for parties. And it's
Absolutely.
not just disturbing the peace. If he's making money on a residential property, he's not following ordinances, he's not getting the correct permits, that is an avenue for us to shut down at least the parties, that he's charging money for.
All right, Sheriff, I think it's in your hands at this point.
Be glad to help.
So, okay, thank you. Thank you,
Okay.
ma'am.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, let's back up. I did see the Highway Commissioner come in, Commissioner Simmons, and Executive Director Brad White. Ms. Simmons? Good morning. Glad to have you in Madison County.
Glad to be here. And I see a 2-minute limit, so
Yeah, you, 2.5,
2.5.
you know.
Unless you got a check.
We sent that in the mail. You didn't receive it.
Yeah.
Let me say good morning to the board, though.
Good morning.
To you, Mr. Chairman, and to all the members of the board, and to all the officials of Madison County and the business community as well, and citizens. We here this morning, and I have Brad White, the CEO, is with me, as well as my staff, Carlos Jones, Carol Williams, and Jack King. And Brad and I is kind of like Brian Piccolo and Gail Sears, so we just play good together as a team, so thank you so much. But let me just quickly say to you how grateful we are to be here this morning to report to you that the Department of Transportation is still in good hand, and we are moving forward. We want to give thanks to the state legislature, who has been very, very good over the past 5 years, giving us recurring money. As you know, last year with the House Bill 1, where they gave us additional money, recurring money. It's something that's much, much needed, and they continue to do capacity. So giving thanks to the leadership, Lieutenant Governor Holzman, as well as Speaker White and all the legislators. But you all also have a good group in the Capitol that I have to say, and we go way back when I was in the Senate, Capital Resources, Claire Hester and her team have worked overtime, making this process work, and the $150 million that we're able to get this year for capacity money, which is going to enable us to move forward on a project that you all have been harassing me about, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman told me one time, a long time ago, that he didn't think I was going to ever do the project. But again, the team at the Department of Transportation is able to move the project forward because of the work of Capital Resources and many others who came in this year and insisted that we continue to do what the legislature said we was going to do, which was to fund capacity projects. And we had committed already to say that the next project that they funded would be the Madison County widening of Interstate 55. So we are very pleased to let you know that $150 million is not adequate enough to take care of the full cost. But my guess will be going to fund it anyway. Brad and the staff has gotten together and taken a look at where the monies are coming into the system, and we, the commissioners, are committed that we're going to move the project forward. Matter of fact, we will actually start to advertise for letting the project this month and the month of August, and in September, we should actually let a contract, and by next spring, you will be able to see us moving the dirt. As you well know, this is a project that's going to add 2 lanes to Interstate 55. And those 2 lanes are going to go inside of the median. And as a result of that, we're going to be able to keep the traffic flowing on the 4 lanes that exist going north and south. So we won't have to shut lanes down. We may have to do it sometime, but if we do it, it'll be in the night that we will do it so that we don't delay and destroy the ability of the citizen and others who are coming through this particular area. So we should be able to let the project in September start to work next spring, and it should be about a 2.5-year project. So, Mr. Chairman, I know you want it done by 2027, but we just can't make that for you. But we're going to do that. So as we look at widening Interstate 55, it's going to enhance the traffic flow, but we also know that we got to do other things in it. So we'll continue to look at 463. It's Driven Road, and we're going to do what we call the Green Tea. That's going to be a new venture for us, one of the first that we have done here in the state, but it's going to cause the traffic to flow, and 1 lane of traffic will be able to continue going on 463. I believe it's going south, and then we'll create additional turn lanes at that traffic light and make it easier. You're going to get some complaints, and probably already been getting them, like I have been getting them, about Way Road. Way Road is up in the area on Highway 51 where we are currently have 2 bridges closed, as you well know. And we were very fortunate to get a $77 million grant that's allowing us to replace, and we're going to be replacing about 11 bridges here in Madison County on Highway 51. Well, those 2 are closed, and we should be able to reopen them around September or October of this year. But as soon as we open those 2, we're going to replace another one right in the same areas, just north of them. So we'll be closing that particular section. But we want to keep the traffic flowing and have alternative routes for the citizen to move. And even with us being on Interstate 55, we still going to be okay as far as being able to move traffic. So just to make you aware of that, those are just a few of the projects that we're working on. Highway 51, we'll finish paving it. Also, just up around Canton. So we feel good about where we are here in Madison County and working with you. But once again, our team, Brad White, and having folks like Capital Resources to work with us, we feel good about where we are and being able to make things happen for you. So glad to report that to you, Mr. Chairman, and hopefully you won't have me incarcerated.
Now, Commissioner, it's always good to have you here in front of us, give us updates, and going back to the widening of I-55, you know, this plan was put together in 2017, 16, 17, to do that, and it's always good to see a plan come together. Yes, it takes time, but it takes working together, and many people working together to make this project happen. Appreciate you and Executive Director Brad White on helping make this project work.
Let me say to you in that regard is that we enjoy working with Madison County because you all have a plan. You and the business community and the leadership here in Madison County have a strategic plan that I was introduced to around that time, 2016 or so, when I was in the Senate. And you continue to work with our partners at the federal level, our congressional delegation, and the state leadership. And it just makes it easier for us to be able to come together. So when we saw the $150 million, it was a thing that Brad White and I said we was gonna be going to the other two commissioners and the staff to see if we could make that work and do everything possible that we could, so.
And one important thing, and I know this is automatic with you because you mentioned this several times, this widening does include the ramps
Yes.
to the interchange.
Reunion. Mhm.
As well, which makes it a huge deal for us in Madison County to move traffic, not only from Gluckstadt south on Bozeman, but also taking some off of 463 as well, once those interchanges are connected or installed there to be able to get on the interstate.
It also will include lighting, safety, as well as enhance in our most recent signage, which will be able to give the drivers better read on where to go, so.
Commissioner, first of all, thank you for putting this project together for us. But I've got a couple of questions. Is there a time of when we're gonna get started, a time frame, or how long it's gonna take to get it all done? 'Cause
Yes, sir. We are now starting the advertising process, July and August, which means that we'll be able to let the project, and let me, we'll decide upon a contract in September, and then we would give them the authority to move forward. And we should see that happen in the spring of 2027. Once they get into the project, we anticipate in approximately 2.5 years to complete it.
will you tell the public what all you guys have already done as far as environmentals and engineering, that type of thing?
We're doing all those things that gets us to being what we call shovel-ready, and that involves the pre-construction kinds of activities, which is environmental, right-of-way. We going inside, so we didn't have to deal with right-of-way, but utilities and those kind of things. So we have completed that process now of pre-construction, and we are ready to actually advertise, and we'll start that process July this month.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for all the work you do.
Okay.
Commissioner, you mentioned earlier about many people participating. We do want to thank our Lieutenant Governor Bozeman and Speaker White, and our own representatives, Madison County, as you mentioned earlier, as well. We want to thank each one of them as well for participating and making this project happen, because it takes everyone with a project this large to come together working as one.
No
I
question.
want to thank you about that. Other comments?
No, you answered mine.
Yes, sir.
On that Highway 51 bridge, you answered that.
I think he said two bridges gonna be open in about 60 days, and then you're gonna have another couple of other bridges that you're working on.
We will finish the two
It don't
that
do
we
nothing
have,
for traffic though. coming through.
and then when we finish that one, we will do the third one. Between now and 2030, we have about a total of 11 bridges on 51 that's on our radar to replace.
You have a good plan, and just gotta implement that plan.
Yes, sir.
And that's what you're doing.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. Also, Capital Resources, who's gonna come up and follow Commissioner Simmons? He brought a lot to the table now.
Yes, sir, that's a tough one to follow. Not to be so repetitive, but you did make mention of the team effort that went into
Right.
to the securing of those funds, from you guys to our local representatives and senators, Speaker, Lieutenant Governor. Obviously, Commissioner Simmons was instrumental, and Director Brad White was giving us orders until the last minute, I do believe, as we walked through the halls that morning. So I would just like to, in addition to that project that we worked on, you also asked us about Weisenberger Road and Gluckstadt Road. Madison County and the municipalities thereof got about a little over $6 million, but each of those two projects got $1 million for Gluckstadt and Weisenberger. And I also wanted to update you, the 3 ADA, state-funded ADA slots will be funded in January. They were authorized and will come into funding in January of 27. So those are the main issues you asked us to work on. Obviously, there are smaller things that pop up that we have to play defense on from time to time, but that's kind of an update on where we are in the 26th session.
Yeah, appreciate the two updates on Weisenberger and Gluckstadt.
Yes, sir.
Road, because those are two very vital roads in Madison County, in the central part of Madison County, that we are moving forward, and the monies there will help tremendously as well. You also said something at the very end of your statement. We always have to play defense.
Yes, sir.
And I know several times, just talking with the Supervisor Association and through, that we had to play defense this past year on keeping some things coming law that would actually hurt Madison County.
Yes, sir.
And appreciate y'all's help and efforts in helping that as well with that
Yes, sir.
situation. So,
Thank you for your help, and many thanks to our reps and senators from Madison County.
you bet. Any other comments, statements? Appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, any other concerned citizens, Greg?
No, sir.
Okay. Next, we're gonna get to, business of matters, matters of business, that is, Mr. Kennedy, our tax assessor. Appreciate you being here this morning.
Yes, sir. Good morning, Mr. President, members of the board. I'm here today to present the 2026 Madison County tax roll and provide an overview of the current assessed values. The tax roll is available on the county's website, and I have placed a hard copy along this wall to my left, your right, for inspection purposes. As required by Mississippi Code 2735-81, I have prepared all required documentation and filed it with the clerk of the board, including the required affidavits for each roll. At this time, I'd like for Randy, have you already passed it out? All right, she's passed out two documents for you to follow along with as I discuss each class and the growth within each class of property. The tax assessor's office maintains the tax rolls for Class 1 and Class 2 real property and Class 3 personal property. Class 1 and Class 2 real property currently total $1,998,675,013 in assessed value, reflecting an increase of $504.9 million over the 2025 tax roll. Class 3 personal property currently totals $1,029,109,420 in assessed value, reflecting an increase of approximately $685.5 million over the 2025 tax roll. Class 4 public utilities are assessed annually by the Mississippi Department of Revenue. The current assessed value is $114,874,240. And Class 5 motor vehicles and motor homes have an assessed value of $362,240,360. The preliminary 2026 true value of the tax roll is $24.8 billion, with a total assessed value of $3,504,899,033. This represents an overall increase of $1.2 billion, or 53.7% over the 2025 tax roll. In recent years, preliminary tax roll increases have generally ranged from 2 to approximately 7%, representing annual increases in assessed value ranging from approximately $31.8 million to $137.9 million. The most significant increase this year is primarily attributable to the addition of the initial Amazon data center improvements to the tax roll. In addition to this growth, 2026 is also a countywide reappraisal year. During a reappraisal year, we review and update property values to reflect current market conditions. This process helps ensure fairness and compliance with state requirements. It is a comprehensive update of the entire county tax roll. The county first exceeded $2 billion in total assessed value in tax year 2023. Just 3 years later, the preliminary 2026 tax roll exceeds $3 billion in assessed value. This growth reflects significant economic investment within Madison County and the continued responsibility of the tax assessor's office to ensure that all property is assessed in a fair, uniform, and equitable manner in accordance with Mississippi law. The tax roll currently includes 59,353 real property parcels 5,166 personal property accounts, and 528 single-family residences were added to the roll. We also processed 3,010 homestead exemption applications between January 1 and April 1 of this year. I appreciate the dedication of the staff and the tax assessor's office who work hard and made the completion of this year's tax roll possible. Mr. President, members of the board, this concludes my presentation of the 2026 Madison County tax roll. Thank you for your time and continued support.
Thank you, Norman. Just probably some questions. If you would, tell us what Class 1 and Class 2 real property is, and Class 3. If you don't mind it, just tell us what that consists of.
Class 1 is all single-family owner-occupied residential property, and the assessment ratio for Class 1 property is 10%. Class 2 is all other real property, such as commercial property, industrial property, and vacant land, and that assessment ratio is 15%. Class 3 is personal property or business accounts, and that assessment ratio is 15% as well. Class 4 includes public service property, public utilities, and that's assessed at a 30% assessment ratio. And Class 5 pertains to automobiles and mobile homes.
Okay.
Norman, what kind of extra revenue is this gonna bring into the county? Do you have any idea?
I think that would be a question for Mr. Higginbotham. I was here today just to present the assessed values and discuss the growth in the county. But when it comes to revenue, that's more of a county administrator question.
Are you ready to answer that question, or you wanna wait?
I can answer it in generalities now, if you would like.
Yeah.
Generalities may be the best. All right, so anytime an there's two sides to a tax bill. You've got how much the property is worth, because that's what ad valorem taxation is. It means according to the value. And then you've got the tax rate. If one side of that equation goes up, then in theory, the tax bill goes up, but you can always lower the other side of the equation. So it will be up to this board as it determines the millage rate for the upcoming year as to what that does to tax bills or revenues to the county. It will be entirely up to this board as far as its millage rate. There are a couple of additional considerations, the first of which is state statute precludes us from collecting more than 10% year over year. There are some nuances there, but that's the gist of it is you can't collect more than 10%. If the assessed value has gone up 20%, then we're gonna have to start looking at what all that entails. So we are still very, very early in the process. I would hesitate to say that everybody's tax bill is instantly going up. I wouldn't say that at all. There are actions that can be taken by this board which will mitigate the effect of the increased property values.
Well, I'm hoping that we can get together and come up with a solution for lowering taxes in the near future. So I'll be in your office going over these numbers to propose a tax cut.
And that, I'm sorry, Supervisor Baxter.
No, that's all I got.
Yeah, there's a limit, and, you know, and it's gonna be, a lot of work and look into with the numbers, as Supervisor Baxter says, because this is a huge amount of increase within the last year. And hopefully, we can see this in the next 2 or 3 years as well, as far as the increase in value. And, these numbers are definitely, will be looked at during our budget time as well. So it's a lot of good things happening in Madison County.
Most
Very much so.
definitely.
And, Norman, appreciate your office, because this is a lot on you and your office as well.
Thank
putting
you.
this together.
And I would say, and what Greg mentioned, a lot of it depends on what type of growth we're experiencing as well, through the reappraisal or
Right.
new growth. There are a lot of factors involved. It's pretty complex. So, thank you.
It is. Other comments? All right, if not,
All right.
Thank you.
okay, next is, Mr. Pace. Mr. Norman, we need a motion on this.
We do, yes.
Yeah, we need.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and make the motion then, and
I'll second.
Mr. Lott, I'm gonna read it here. It says, to acknowledge receipt of the real and personal property tax rolls for 2026 for Madison County. 2 is to adopt and enter the July order. 3, to further authorize the equalization process to be conducted at each and every board meeting in the month of July 2026, conducted thereafter. 4th, to establish August 3rd, 2026 as the date the board will entertain and consider objections to said rolls. Set said date as the deadline for the filing of written protest with the clerk, and advertise the same in the Madison County Journal for August the 3rd, 2026. Said rolls to be available for public inspection in the boardroom of the Chancery Administration Building. 5, to accept the assessor's affidavit of the personal roll and the assessor's affidavit of the real roll, as well as the draft recapitulation sheet. That is my motion. Got a second, Supervisor Banks. Discussion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? It passed, 100%. Mr. Pace, Mr. Lott? We need this.
Greg, will you turn on the AC?
Working on it. That thermostat is as low as it goes, and I believe, our facilities director is exploring the issue.
Okay, Mr. Pace, it's warm and.
Good, well, I'll say
come on
that
up.
y'all have turned up the heat on me this morning.
There you go.
I feel like Norman put the ball on a high tee for me this morning. He was talking about one of the reasons for the increase in values in Madison County is that the initial property and buildings installed and constructed by Amazon Web Services or Amazon Data Services were completed last year. They've gone on the rolls this year. That really is the genesis of what I'm here today to talk to you about on Joey Deason's behalf. My name is Chris Pace. I'm the outside attorney for Makita. Joey's traveling today, or he would probably be here giving this presentation. But we have a couple of things to present to the board today. One of those deals with the $215 million loan that Makita and the county and the city of Ridgeland took out 2 years ago to fund a lot of the public infrastructure, both in the county and in the city of Ridgeland, that were necessary, not just for the Amazon project, but the surrounding areas around both of those large data center locations. But also to talk about the anticipated revenues to come from both of the Amazon data center projects over the next several years based on the preliminary assessments that the assessor's office has completed. That being said, maybe a little background. You all may remember it was mid-2024. This was after the Amazon data center project had been announced in late January. We presented to this board 2 fee in lieu agreements. Greg did an excellent job explaining sort of the ad valorem assessment process. I know you all are familiar with tax abatements, familiar with fee in lieu agreements. There are 2 in place with Amazon. One of those is a fee in lieu agreement for the Megasite project that's just down the road, right on 22 and the Nissan Parkway. The other is in Ridgeland, right along County Line Road. One of those agreements is just with the county and the company. The other's with the county, the city of Ridgeland, and the company. And it provides to the company effectively a 10-year 2/3 abatement on all of their initial property. As they add property over the 30-year term of the agreements, it continues to provide a 10-year 2/3 abatement for all new property additions. That 1/3 fee in lieu is paid to the county, and under both agreements, it comes into the collector's office. The collector's then challenged or tasked with step 1, paying back, giving the money to the county necessary to pay back the loan to the state. Once that annual loan payment is made, the balance of the funds get distributed out on a pro rata basis to the city, the county, the school district, the fire district, wherever the money goes on a pro rata basis, the community college. That being said, about the same time that we did the fee in lieu agreements, actually I think of the same meeting, this board and a day later, the city of Ridgeland approved a public improvements loan and contribution agreement. The state ultimately made a $215 million and change loan to Makita. The city and county agreed to a contribution agreement as part of that to pay back that loan using fee in lieu proceeds from both of the Amazon projects. There is a resolution before the board today to address how that loan is paid back. Under the terms of the agreement, the loan has a 13-year amortization. That will start next year, which is, it starts the first year of fee in lieu payment is received from Amazon. That'll be January of 2027. That's when the 13-year clock starts. We have an obligation to pay back not less than $10 million to the state in year one. And then after that, it's a 12-year amortization, which works out to be about $10 million at a minimum in the first year and about $24 million every year after that for the next 12 years, which means it gets paid off in 13 years. Based on the preliminary assessed values and the current millage rate, assuming no millage rate changes, the community will take in substantially more revenue from Amazon than is necessary to pay back that loan. Based on our math, it looks to us like we could easily take half of the fee in lieu money, pay back the loan. The other half of the fee in lieu money will be distributed and split between the county, the city, the schools, and all the participants in that fee in lieu agreement. And instead of paying it back and paying interest for 13 years, it would pay back about 2031, early 2032. So in less than half the overall time amortized under the loan agreement, which means that after that date, everything coming in from the Amazon project goes straight into the community chest. That being said, we had presented to Greg, we sent this to Attorney Espy as well, a proposed resolution of this board. Similar one will be going to the Mayor and Board of Aldermen of the City of Ridgeland, since they participate in this as well. Basically stating the intent of the board to use not less than half of the fee and lieu money coming in over the next several years from the Amazon project to pay back that loan, with the goal and intent of paying it off substantially early and eliminating those long-term interest payments.
Okay. Thank you, Chris, for the update, and again, this is a payback on the loan of $215 million, from the state, that you just said a couple of times there. With that being said, I'll make a motion to approve the resolution for it to pay back at least 50% of it plus.
I'll second that, but I got a little discussion.
I've got a motion and a second discussion.
Tell us how many data centers have been built out there?
So far, there, as of the end of last year, there were 5 that were completed and online. We know that because they were subject to ad valorem assessment this year. The assessor has completed that preliminary assessment. It was part of his numbers presented today. They have, I believe, 5 more coming online this year. And then that continues every year for about the next 4 years.
And how much do those centers cost apiece?
I would have to defer to the assessor on the specific values. The vast majority of the asset value is not the building itself. It's in all of the IT equipment that's inside that building that the company reports on.
Okay. This is a little bit out of...
I'll tell you, it's well in excess of $1 billion per building.
It's a little bit out of your realm of responsibility, but I'm getting a lot of questions about the water usage and the cooling. Tell us about that plant, and is it totally encapsulated, or how does the cooling work?
Well, you are right. It is outside the realm of my of what I'm familiar with. I do know that, part of what was constructed with that $215 million loan was a return line from Beatty's Bluff, meaning their goal is to recycle that water, use the water, send it to treatment, and then reclaim that water and use treated wastewater for cooling. One of from what I do know about these data centers, like any industry, they have peak water usage periods. Water is used for cooling, which means we're in the middle of peak season right now. This is when anybody using water for cooling is using a lot of water. They're not using much water in November and December and February and March and April when the heat's not there.
So I guess what I'm getting at is there's concern in the community that people's power and water bills are going to go up. Do you have any expertise in?
I will tell you the comparisons I have seen to data center usage on water. If folks are concerned about data centers using water, they should be picketing every golf course in the county.
Yeah.
Is there any
the power bill I can't speak to, other than I do know, because I'm familiar with the bill. This was House Bill 1, the second extraordinary session 2024. There is language in the legislation that precludes Entergy from, I'm paraphrasing, but it precludes them from passing through the cost of any new Entergy public utility improvements constructed for Amazon through to the general rate base.
Is there any revenue projections this year and over the next 4 years of how much revenue this is gonna produce for the county?
I appreciate the segue. That's what we're gonna cover next. Emily has some boards to bring up to show that. We have forecasted that out over the next 30 years. We'll talk mostly about the next 10 years, but that was a good segue. But I'm certainly happy to do that, and we can,
Yeah, we're gonna vote on the, motion that was passed, but I will say, I know, our, Makita Executive Director has been in front of us a couple of times
Yeah.
as far as talking about the water. And here in Canton, the water from Beatty Bluff that would be treated would usually go down Big Black River.
correct, it's just dumped into the
But
river.
now it's gonna come back, from my understanding, to the data centers here in Canton
Correct.
for them to use, so it wouldn't be any fresh water from the ground,
Correct.
so to speak, so.
And the water is, I went to the AWS Entergy explanation of how they do their power, all this kind of stuff, and how they do their cooling. Data centers are hot. It's not a air-conditioned system. It's always hot. They do not use water until the ambient temperature outside reaches mid to high 80s. So as soon as it drops below 86, 87, they go to ambient air for their cooling. One of the statistics they gave us, based on both sites being completed, it will use about as much water in a year as one of the major water providers in our county uses in 10 days. So
That was sort of to my point. I think there's a lot of bad information online about water usage. Not that some of the older data centers, I mean, data centers aren't new. We've had data centers for 40 years, since the internet's been around. And some of the older ones did consume a lot of water. The ones that are being built in the past decade or so are far more energy efficient. Folks lose sight about how much water is used in agriculture, for golf courses, for automated car washes, use, 40, 50,000 gallons of water daily.
Yeah, one of the good things about this is that, we teamed up and worked with, the best with AWS. They're the best data centers out there, and they have come in and proven that by spending money locally and to put the newest and the best equipment that can be found out there. So,
Well, you're right. I mean, in addition to this $215 million loan, I mean, Amazon has contributed, it's been
That's
in
right.
excess of $30 million over the last year and a half into other public improvements outside the scope of what was funded with that loan.
and they're still doing it, still including it. So, anyway, we have a motion on the table saying that, this, half of this money that we collect yearly, we'll be paying the debt off by taking 50% of that money
Correct.
to do that. So, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? All right, thanks, Chris. Now, if we can, go into, item 5.
Sure, I'll address Supervisor Baxter's question first. I think you've got the handout in front of you. In the first year, this is based on the assessor's preliminary assessed values and current millage rate, so this assumes no millage change in the fall. The total fee in lieu payment would be just in excess of $28 million this first year. That's for five facilities,
Divided between
5 buildings.
the county and the cities and the school districts?
And that, this year, not even the city, there were no data centers online and in operation in 2025 at the Ridgeland location, they call Jan 200. That's just at the mega site.
We don't have an accurate number. How much of that money's gonna go directly to the county?
Of that top line number, before paying back any of the debt service, right at $12 million would come to the county. So after this 50% payment, that would mean $6 million net to the county. That number goes up to $55 million in 2028. Total fee in lieu of that, about 20 would come to the county ordinarily. If we use 50% to pay back the loan, that'll mean $10 million net after debt service to the county. In 2029, that number jumps to $88 million in total. That's roughly 33.5 million to the county. After paying debt service, do the math at 16. Lawyers don't do math too quick in their head, but that's just shy of $17 million net to Madison County. That $88 million goes to 142 in 2030. Of that 142, that's $52 million to the county after debt service, $26 million to the county, and then $165 million in total by 2031. That's $58 million to Madison County after debt service. What does that work out to be? About $26.5 million after paying back what's owed to the state. And at that point, the debt is repaid.
And then we get the whole,
And then by 2032, which would be the next full year, that's $154 million in total, $54 million to the county, free and clear.
sounds like there's some room in there for some tax relief for some hard work in Madison County.
I think Greg is going to have a very challenging job for the next 5-6 years.
It's best to have too much than too little.
It is. It's an embarrassment of
Success.
riches.
Yeah.
And that discussion has been going on now for the last couple of months.
I'm sure.
As well to see, but the budget time is coming up and.
Right.
And, very successful, you know.
Well, and of course, you guys are not alone in this. Each of the school districts in the county will, the Canton Public School District and Madison County School District will be having the same discussions and budgeting issues, as will the city of Ridgeland.
Right. But this just shows good planning.
Absolutely.
You know, from this board and prior boards as well, to help make this happen. So, other questions? Okay, Chris? Anything else you need to tell us?
I think that's it, Mr. President. Thank you. I appreciate the time this morning.
Okay, we don't need to put this into the minutes, I don't guess.
As far as the
Just for-
update, I'll defer to Greg in the clerk's office on that. It certainly can be, but the numbers have been made available to
Yeah,
everyone.
this is for our info. All right,
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chris. Okay, I asked, Exxon Mobil to come and give us a good update. Where are those? Where are they? Albert, you coming up to introduce them? Guys, don't forget who you work for now.
Good
All
morning,
right,
Board.
Albert, good morning.
After me and President Steen talked about it, I wanted to bring before the board to let y'all know what your emergency management is doing. The county is taking care of it very well. Exxon, they come and participate with our LAPC all the time. So if any emergency pops off, we have a connection that we need. So now I'll bring before you the two Exxon reps, just to let y'all know what they do.
All right, you gonna bring two up or just one? You said two, so if you would, introduce yourself and, just tell us.
Yeah, good morning. My name's Jason Davis. I'm the business team lead representing ExxonMobil Pipeline Company. I am a Madison County resident, so I'm thankful to be able to come address the board. It's my first time to ever attend a board meeting, so thanks for the opportunity. Just to kind of build on what Albert said, part of our job at ExxonMobil is to engage with our key stakeholders, to provide education about what we do, and Albert and his team have been outstanding partners in that effort. It's local officials, one of our key stakeholder groups, so again, thankful for the opportunity to come visit with you all. The CO2 operation that's currently in service in Madison County has been in operation for over 20 years. ExxonMobil has owned it for the last, call it 3 years almost. This November will be the 3rd year anniversary. But there's a long-standing history of CO2, safe and reliable, responsible CO2 operations in Madison County. We operate approximately 50 miles of CO2 pipeline. We operate 10 to 12 CO2 production wells. We're producing CO2 from a naturally occurring formation here in Madison, some in Madison County, some in Rankin County. That operation, again, has been going on since the early 2000s. We utilized the CO2 for the previous company that owned it, Denbury Resources, may or may not have ever heard of it. They were an oil company, much smaller than the ExxonMobil brand for sure. But we also sell CO2 to industrial sales service, in industrial sales companies like Matheson Trigas and Gluckstadt. They refine the CO2 that we produce is 99+% pure. They refine it further to make sure that it meets their beverage and food grade spec for their customer base. We have 2 processing facilities in Madison County, out east of Gluckstadt, east of Highway 51, and then there's another processing plant out east of Highway 43 on the north side of the Ross Barnett Reservoir. So that's a little bit about our operation. Again, Albert and his team have done a great job partnering with us to allow us to come in and participate in their LEPC meetings. I believe we've trained in excess of 100 first responders, where we provide carbon dioxide specific response procedures and hazard identification so that our responders from this county are as best equipped as they possibly can to understand the hazards of what they could be potentially responding to if we were to have an issue. So again, thanks Albert for being such a strong partner. Anything you want to add?
Yeah. Hey, my name is Bo Gigger. I'm the Emergency Preparedness and Response Manager. I just wanted to add on to a little bit about Albert and his team. Minor Norman, I know he was in here earlier. We've been able to successfully partner with these agencies, trained, like Jason said, we've trained over 100 first responders specifically for CO2 emergency response. We've been able to offer grants for some of these departments to be able to obtain funds for emergency response gear. We actually are going to want to get on the agenda to come back and do a check presentation. Minor's already got the money, but we didn't have the check with us today to make the presentation. But I did want to talk about one other thing. We provide training to the first responders at other agencies. We allow, Albert and his team has went to a class that we offer at TEEX at College Station. This is the training, this is the Disney World for firefighters. We offer this for career fire departments, and we also offer this for volunteer fire departments. We pay the cost, all costs associated with it, everything from hotel to meals to get them to that training. Several people representing this area has been to the training. We also offer training through the Mississippi Fire Academy. Again, this is at no cost to each fire department. It's at no cost for the firefighters. We provide the training. It's a one-day on a Saturday class. You guys are more than welcome to attend some of this training if you want to see what's going on. We provide hours. I spoke with the sheriff in the past. We have training that law enforcement can actually use toward recertification. And I do want to take the moment to talk about this. Your LEPC, your local emergency planning group, I attend these meetings or visit these meetings all over the country. I cover 6 different states. I attend these meetings regularly. This meeting is one of the best ones in the country as far as participation from your responders and from your industry. It's not a surprise to walk in the meeting and there be anywhere between 40 to 70 people in this room. This is all your career fire departments. This is your law enforcement. That is something, as Madison County, you guys should really, really be proud of. And the same thing again with Minor. Mr. Minor, he set up a meeting for all the volunteers, invited all the departments. We had probably 60 that showed up for this one class. We're also in the process of training the career departments. We just had 2 classes and have another one this week with Canton. This is where we go to the career departments and we provide training for all of their guys. The thing that's kind of unusual for career departments is you have to have a training for each hitch. So you'll have to have all 3 shifts. So we'll give 3 different trainings to allow all the firefighters to come in. Our number one goal is always public safety and emergency response. We talk with Albert at least, I know he gets tired of hearing from me, but at least once to twice a week, we're going to have a conversation with him. So again, we appreciate what the emergency management group does in this county. And I wanted you guys to be able to take some pride in the planning that goes on behind the scenes. Really top-notch group.
Thank you, Bo. Any comments? Bo, Jason, I appreciate it because from time to time, we will hear from our constituents about safety. And I think you explained it very well, what y'all are doing here in Madison County. Albert, I want to thank you and your team and Minor for putting the organization together and participation, being involved in it to bring our leaders together to be able to make sure that if it is an incident out there, that we are well organized to be able to move people in and out for safety purposes.
Greg, do you have I might meet with these guys, take a little deeper dive in this. Do you have their contact information?
I can certainly get it. Yes, sir. Hey, well, thank you. I would return the favor.
I know Albert would have it as
Yeah,
well.
Albert, absolutely.
Or
We
mine.
can set it up, yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you guys for what you do.
You bet.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the report, and we look forward to the next trip. Okay, from that point, I'm gonna drop down and bring up Mendel Kemp. Mendel, if you would, come up and tell us what's going on with you and who you have with you.
Good. I wanted to come and thank y'all for all your support and encouragement and help with the serving the veterans of Madison County. I've enjoyed it. I'm resigning or retiring, whatever. I've retired.
Just say retired a little bit.
I've retired several
Yeah.
times.
There you go.
But anyway, I've been here 6 years, and it's time to go to the house. But I really enjoyed my time here, and when I came, there were a lot of folks said, well, we didn't know you were here. But they know we're here now. There are 6,000 veterans in Madison County, and I think all of them have visited our office at one time, but at one time or another. But I wanted to introduce Ann Johnson. She's a Veterans Service Officer.
Step on up, Ann.
She's the assistant of VSO now, just started. As y'all know, Casey Davis went back to school and did a great job, but she wanted to pursue another career. Ann joined us, and about a week after that she started, I said, Ann, you need to start work on this Veteran Service Officer training that they provide, and there are 24 lessons in the test. And she said, I completed that this morning and took the test. She already had her certificate. So you'll be very pleased with her, and she is very capable and an Army veteran, served a tour in Iraq, and now serves in the reserves. So, Ann, I did give you her resume.
Ann, if you will, step up and just tell us a little bit about yourself, please.
Good morning, everyone.
Good
My name
morning.
is Ann Johnson. Happy to be here. Most certainly happy to work with Greg and Mr. Kemp. Together, we worked miracles, old school, new school. We've been a machine combined. I've seen as young as age 21 to 95 today that we have of veterans. I enjoy being a member of the team, helping veterans and helping veterans achieve the benefits that they're entitled to. There's no greater service than to assist those that have served this country, to include myself. I tell Mendel all the time, my brain is always working, and he has to tell me every morning, just sit down for a second, because my wheels are always turning. Other than that, that's all I have. You have my resume before you. I still serve in the reserve. December 3rd will be 18 years. Graduated law school 2019. I'm still in the reserves. I've been to Iraq 2011, and I'm just a very versatile person. Other than that, that's all I have. Pending your questions.
Okay. Questions for Ann? Ann, I will say I haven't met you personally until now, but I have talked with Mendel and Greg, and they are very impressed with with the work that you've been doing for the county as well. And so, other statements, comments from the board?
So am I. I talked to Ann about 3 or 4 times. Very impressed with her knowledge. I think Madison County is lucky to have her aboard. Mendel Mendel did a whole lot of things for the veterans, but I think, Ms. Johnson is ready and young enough to take us to another level. When is your last day, Mendel, you know?
15th
July the 15th?
of July.
Do we meet again before then?
We will meet on the 20th.
20th, okay, okay. Welcome aboard.
We've got a good transition, and she's gone through, she's sat in on all the, interviews, and, she's gone through the files, and so it'll be a good transition. It won't be,
Su- Supervisor Griffith, do you have a motion as far as an interim or permanent or?
Yes, since, Mendel gonna leave on the 15th, we won't meet until, that 20th. Yeah, I'd like to make the motion that we put her in the interim position starting the 15th of July. And I want to say, I don't know where the board is, to advertise for application for this position, but I don't think we gonna find an applicant any better than hers. Especially if you look at this book of an application here.
Of a resume?
Yeah, well, that resume. So that's my motion, put it in, as interim, director.
As the
starting
same-
15th.
As the same pay?
We gonna have to come up with a pay.
Yes, sir, pay is going to probably need to be considered a little differently, as Mr. Kemp was a retiree working part-time versus a full-time employee.
So you're gonna bring that back on the 20th?
I can, yes, sir.
Just bring it back on the 20th, and then we can, back it up to the 15th?
Yeah, yeah, cause,
We'll give it a whirl, yes, sir, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Cause talking to Greg earlier, I think we looking at, with a person like, Ms. Johnson in there, this coming a one-person position. We did have two in there. This could easily come a one-person position with the person with the skills like Ms. Johnson.
All right, we have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second, Supervisor Banks. Discussion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Welcome.
Thank you.
All right.
Mendel, before we leave, though, I want to, from the board, say thank you for the 6 years that you have come and led our veterans through Madison County, which is a huge, important position to have for us in Madison County.
Definitely big. It is big.
We just went through, our 4th of July, and I want to tell you, our veterans is everything. And we appreciate your leadership in those 6 years as well.
You're welcome. And not just the veterans families, dependents.
Yes.
They receive benefits also, but it's been a pleasure. I've loved every minute of it, and, I'm still around, so, we'll work together on anything.
I appreciate you.
Thank you
Appreciate
for
both
your
of you.
service, Mendel.
And Greg, if you will, work up something on, salary and,
Yes, sir.
job description may change a little bit as well. I'm not sure, but, if you will, work something up and bring back to us on the 20th.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it. All right, moving back to item 7, Canton Tourism. Who's here to represent Canton Tourism? Okay,
See anybody?
that's a good way of moving on down the
Down the
moving
line.
on. All right, consent items. Do I have a motion for consent items?
I got a question there. I would like
Okay.
to put off number 8 and number 12 for question.
And I'd like to pull number 11.
8, 11, and 12. Okay. Do we have a motion to approve consent items with the exception of item 8, 11, and 12?
Move.
Got a motion Supervisor Banks, to have a second? I'll second. Discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Supervisor Griffin, item 8 and
Yeah.
12, if you don't
No,
mind.
Item 8, all the way down to this order that,
Yes, sir. And
O'Neill sent.
I think I can explain that order. There was a clerical error that resulted in a road department employee being omitted from a previous agenda. This is an order from the judge allowing us to pay him for the time that he already worked.
Oh, okay. That answer that. Now, moving to
Item
item 12.
This is just an acknowledgement. This is not an approval. This is not anything beyond this board saying, yep, we got a letter.
Yep, but, the question about the letter is though, is that $41,531.20, is that for all that's in that letter? Because it seems like what I read, when I get down further in that letter, it add more in there.
That would not be out of line with the way those letters have read historically. I have not put the numbers into a spreadsheet or done much in the way of the math on it. So you very well may be correct, sir, but that's why this is just an acknowledgement rather than any kind of approval or go forward and change a salary or a budget allocation in any way.
Okay.
And this is really for budget time.
Yes, sir. This is for the upcoming budget hearings, which I assume will be around the last week of July like they normally are.
Okay. Supervisor Griffin, you have a motion for approval of those?
We had one more, I thought, did you?
Yeah.
Well, he's
I was gonna take it, yeah, I was gonna take it separately.
Yeah, motion to approve item 8 and item, 12.
Okay, I'll second it. Discussion, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed. Item 11, Supervisor Brandon.
I don't believe that, Madison County Board of Supervisors it's appropriate for us to be in the water and sewage business, and I don't believe that it is proper for us to, exert undue influence over, MACWA, and, that is what happened in the past, and this is a payment for that, and I don't want to, vote yes on this. So I'd like to make a motion to deny number 11.
Okay, we got a motion on the floor to deny. Do I have a second?
I'll second it for discussion.
We got a second for discussion. Greg, tell us what that's about.
So this is a reimbursement request from MACWA in relation to the $2 million in ARPA money, which they subsequently used to get $2 million in match from the state. The project, as y'all can kind of follow through there, that they're working on it, it is almost done. This is simply a request from them for us to sign the paperwork and send it on to the state to get the money back.
Craig, what did MACWA do? So it was a total of $4 million?
Yes, sir.
And what'd they do with that money?
I believe it was a couple of pump stations, but I would have to go back and check. We've given them 2 tranches of $2 million, and I'd have to go back and try to differentiate between the two.
Okay.
Other discussion? All in favor?
Wait a minute. The question, all in favor, the motion is to deny.
Yeah,
That's right.
I'm
Do you have a substitute motion then?
gonna withdraw my second.
Good deal. Motion dies because of lack of second. Do I have a motion for approval?
Yeah, well, I'm moving it.
Motion for approval by Supervisor Banks. I'll second the motion. Discussion, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed.
No.
Question before you go further,
Sure.
Mr. President, is on item 53, 54, and 55.
Yes.
Have we turned that over to our lawyer for what I hear happened to those trucks?
With I believe that was the fuel issue. Yes, Mr. Espy is aware of it.
Okay.
As for what actions have been taken, I have no idea, but I know I sent it to Mr. Espy, yes, sir.
All right, if these truck was damaged through bad fuel, all 3 of them, we should be trying to get some type of reimbursement.
Yes, sir.
All right?
Okay, next is business items. Mr. Espy? You wanna take those first, and then, we'll take them one at a time?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Board, for the sake of brevity, I'd like to describe the tax exemption application request today, items 68, 69, and 70. These are 3 tax exemption requests. 2 are from churches, and 1 is from a nonprofit, a non-church Goodwill Industries. Under our new system that you approved earlier, every application touches 3 hands. It starts in the administrator's office, it goes to the tax assessor for their review, and then it comes to me. If there are any issues, someone's gonna catch it, and then we make a recommendation to the board, which we're doing today. As a group, all 3 entities qualify for this exemption. All 3 qualify for the exemption beginning January 2026. And I'm going to recommend that you approve all 3 after I describe them. We asked the applicants to appear today, so if the boards have any questions and if the applicants are here, of course you can hear from them. Going first to the one that's simplest. This is the application for tax exemption from Holy Trinity Anglican Church. So this is a tax exemption application for property that they acquired for a cemetery in 2025. So cemeteries do qualify for tax exemption. We've looked at all of this, and it's suitable for exemption beginning January 1st, 2026. That's pretty simple. The second one is a church, Livingston Fellowship.
Mike, do you mind if we just take them separately?
Please.
Let's vote on it. Do I have a motion for approval for Holy Trinity? Do what now?
Cemetery.
You moved to approve the cemetery.
You're well suited to know that subject.
All right, we've got a motion, Supervisor Banks. I'll second. Discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Next.
All right. The second is also a church, and this is a church in Livingston Township. It's called Livingston Fellowship Incorporated, and it's an active church. The property was acquired in 2024. There were some taxes owed that we caught, and so in communication with the pastor, those taxes have been paid, so this applicant's tax bill is fully paid. They're requesting tax exemption beginning 2026. And so it's a church in Livingston Township. There is an unusual situation that I would like to inform the board of. We know the condition out in Livingston, and so this particular church, before it was purchased by the church group, was in dire financial straits. And so when the group came in 2024 to buy the parcel, the bank that loaned them the money to acquire the church mandated to the church that they're entered into transactions to pay the debt service on the church. And so they entered agreements with like entertainment management groups to come in for weddings, for birthdays, and so forth. And they do this 60% of the time, you know, entertainment in the church to offset the debt service for the church. We looked at this and I discussed this with Norman. In churches all the time, if there's a polling place, they charge for it. In the church, if there's weddings, venues, they charge for it. So we didn't see this particular need at Livingston Fellowship to be disqualifying. But I did want to bring it to the board's attention. So the taxes have been paid, they qualify. I recommend approval for Livingston Fellowship.
Second.
I'll make that motion.
Got a motion, Supervisor Banks, second Supervisor Baxter, and this is to start in
2026.
26.
They acquired the property in 24, but we are giving them exemption beginning 2026.
Okay. Other discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed?
Thank you. So the third one is Goodwill Industries of Mississippi Incorporated. We're all familiar with Goodwill. They're asking for exemption for a parcel of land on which Goodwill sits. They acquired the property in 2025, and they are eligible for a tax exemption beginning 2026. But there's also another complication that I discussed with the tax assessor. On this physical property, there's a commercial coffee shop. It's not owned by Goodwill. It's a for-profit coffee shop inside of the Goodwill premises. So in the past, when we had this situation, the board will recall that last year, there was an application for tax exemption that came before you, but inside of the building, there was a CPA firm not connected with the applicant.
Right.
And what the board decided to do was to call out the square footage occupied by the CPA firm and give the rest of the exemption to the entity. So I'm recommending that we consider doing that today. This is a going concern coffee shop. I'm sure they pay rent to Goodwill. But we've discussed this with the applicant and Norman, that if he could just, he actually, under our system, we inspect everything now. So the tax assessor's office went out to inspect Goodwill, and they can document that the coffee shop is there. It's 300 square feet. So we recommend the board just to call out this area and delete the value of that from the tax exemption and approve this. But I like Norman just to.
Norman, anything you would like to add to what,
It's pretty simple.
Mr. Espy?
I agree with everything Mr. Espy said. We will simply, since there is a lease and revenue generated from the standalone coffee shop, we will just separate that out, and there'll be a tax bill generated for that improvement.
I'm gonna make a motion for approval for tax exemption with the exception of the coffee area, 300 square feet, I think Mr. Espy mentioned. And that's my motion for approval. Got a second for Supervisor Banks. Discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed?
We have Goodwill here. If you want to hear from them, they're here.
Mr. Goodwill, you'd like to stand up and just say something for a minute or two?
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Espy and Norman, for all your help with this, and President Steen. Thank you again for the opportunity. We had 59 different counties that we could choose to put our corporate office in, and we chose Madison County because we've been here since, the 70s, in operation in Mississippi since 1957, and we're bringing some workforce services that are going to expand out and serve this community. So thank you for the opportunity, because every dollar we don't pay in taxes is one more dollar we can put into workforce development for your people.
I would like to say that the building y'all are building or have already built and finishing looks very nice on Highway 51 in Ridgeland.
Thank you.
Very nice. Thank you for locating there.
We're very proud of it. All of you will be on the invite list. Grand opening and ribbon cutting are on the 23rd of this month.
Appreciate you. Thank you for coming up and speaking to us as well.
Thank you all.
Okay. Okay, we've made a motion and approved that. Next, we get to the DA's office. Who is speaking on behalf of the DA's office? All right, Ashley. Good morning.
My name's Ashley Allen. I'm with the DA's office. I'm here with my boss, Bubba Bramlett. We submitted by email a couple of weeks ago, lease renewal. We've been in a building almost 3 years now, and the property manager sent 2 options for a lease renewal. As you all know, there is a lot of construction going on in Canton in the court system, so we're asking that, since there's really not a place for us to go right now, that you leave us right where we're at and sign either of the 2 competing lease options that we emailed to the county administrator.
Ashley, do you mind just going over those 2 options real quick?
Sure.
I know they're on our agenda and they're very similar, except maybe just a couple of little small things.
Sure. I believe the emailed lease options were, one was a 3-year lease term and one was a 5-year lease term with the option of an early termination. The lease, both lease options included the standard 3%, which I believe is the standard cost of inflation increase at the end of each year. The 5-year lease term, however, does allow for no increase in rent until the 24th month of the new lease, whereas the 3-year lease term would start at the 12th month.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. Any thoughts from the board?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the 5-year lease, because that seems like the best financial situation for us. Y'all are happy where you're at, is from what what I understand. And so, yeah, I'd like to make a motion to, do the cheaper of the two leases, which is the 5-year.
All right, we have a motion on the table. I'll second it just for a little further discussion. And the 5-year lease again, gives us a way out in 30 months, I believe.
Yes, sir.
I believe, and so.
But, 30 months, that means you have to stay in there 30 months?
2.5, yes, 2.5 years.
2.5 years, then you get out at that time.
Yes, as an option, we can get out at that time.
1 month's growth, right?
And it'll be at least 2.5 years before we, probably can look at doing something different. So, any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed. Thank you, Ashley. Mr. Weeks?
Mr. President, Board of Supervisors, good morning. First
Good morning.
item I have is to acknowledge the planning and zoning draft minutes from June 11th, 2026.
Do I have a motion for approval? Motion by Supervisor Banks. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Supervisor Griffin. Discussion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed.
Next item was the Urban Renewal Project Comprehensive Plan. Planning Commission approved June 11th, 2026.
I'll make a motion for approval. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Supervisor Griffin. Discussion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed.
Next item was a site plan for Livingston Building I. This was approved by Mansdale Livingston
Mr.
Preservation.
Weeks, hold on 1 second.
Yes, sir.
Mr. DA, Mr. Bramlett, appreciate you being here this morning. Always good seeing you. Thank you. I'm sorry, Mr. Weeks.
No, it's fine. That was approved by MLHPD and the Planning Commission. It was approved by Planning Commission on June 11th, 2026.
All right, do I have a motion?
Move.
Got a motion, Supervisor Banks. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Supervisor Baxter. Discussion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed.
Next item, Turkey Ridge Holdings. This is a conditional use for a temporary concrete crushing plant located at Highway 22 and Richton Road, Supervisor District 4, P&Z approved, June 11th, 2026.
Do I have a motion?
Move.
Second.
Motion, Supervisor Banks. Second, Supervisor Baxter. Discussion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed.
The next item is Amazon. This is a conditional use for a water treatment facility located at 368 Madison County Parkway, Supervisor District 4, approved by P&Z, June 11th, 2026.
Do I have a motion?
Move.
Motion, Supervisor Banks. Do I have a second?
Second, but I got a question.
Second, Supervisor Baxter.
Is this
Discussion.
in addition to the other treatment plant that we've, or is this the same? Did the state help us build, or what? Tell me about this treatment plant.
I have a gentleman here that can speak to that. This is the water that comes from Beatty's Bluff.
Okay.
Back to the Amazon.
It's the gray wall.
What we were talking about earlier.
If you would, state your name, please.
Yes, sir. My name is David Wall with AWS, with Amazon, Senior Water Strategy Manager. So this treatment facility will be taking the effluent from Beatty's Bluff and treating it further so that we can use it in our cooling water process or facilities, using it for the cooling at the data centers. So it requires additional treatment to be able to reuse.
But it's not, but just so the public's clear, this is partially treated sewer. It's not drinking water, right?
It is treated sewer from Beatty's Bluff, correct. It is not drinking water. That's correct.
And y'all are paying for all this yourself?
Yes, sir. This is an on-site, on the mega-site campus treatment facility.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
thank you. Fantastic. Thank you for what you do.
And this is on the mega site here in Canton.
Yes, sir.
Only.
On the mega-site, yes, sir.
Can get a better deal.
Okay, you know, you hesitated when he asked you, this is not drinking water. You hesitated on
Well,
answering. The answer is, no,
It's not drinking water. That's correct.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed.
Last item I have is Metropolis Global Holdings LLC. It's rezoning industrial I-2 to R5. That's patio home district located at St. Charles Street, Florida, Mississippi. Supervisor District 4. This will be 13 lots, and they'll range from 1,200 to 1,500 square feet. Planning Commission approved June 11th, 2026.
Okay, do I have a motion? Motion Supervisor Banks, do I have a second?
Yes, second for discussion.
Got a second by Supervisor Baxter.
Where is this located?
It's right by Magnolia Heights. It's on the south side of St. Charles Street. Magnolia Heights is on the north side. It's in Kearney Park.
Okay, all right.
All in favor, say aye. Aye, all opposed.
Thank you.
What about item 78?
Didn't have that. I got one more, I'm sorry about that. Have a plat amendment for Expedition Point. And the PRV has approved that.
Okay, I'll make,
Expedition Point.
The old Brown's Landing.
I'll make a motion for approval. Do I have a second?
Oh, Brown Land?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
Second Supervisor Banks, discussion. All in favor, say aye. Aye, all opposed. Thank you, Scott. Ms. Espy?
It ain't kicking off as fast as I thought.
Item 80, 81, 82, and 83. I'd like to take item 80 and 82 first, because they're the same project.
Okay,
These are two interlocal agreements to expand or improve Calhoun Station Parkway, where the roads go through the city of Gluckstadt and the city of Ghent.
right.
So in order to accomplish this, we have to have interlocals with these municipalities. And it's customary, you know, we fund the work, we reimburse them for the work, and they do it. So in the case of item 80, so item 80 is an interlocal with the city of Canton for $160,000 to improve the area from Lakeshore Parkway to East South Road. That's $160,000. It includes damage to some ancillary roads if the heavy trucks come in, and we believe quite likely some of the Kent municipal roads will be damaged. This agreement says that we will fix that as well, up to $160,000. So that is the first one, number 80.
All right, do I have a motion for approval?
I'll make the motion.
Got a motion Supervisor Banks. Do I have a second? I'll second it. And this is on Calhoun Station.
Calhoun
And this
Station,
is- this is
inside of Canton.
Yeah, and this is actually just finishing the Calhoun Station Road. It's basically what it amounts to on both of these, so,
With 82.
yes,
So
that's right.
82,
Hold on one second. Other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed?
all right, thank you. So 82 is also Calhoun Station that goes through the city of Gluckstadt. And so this is for $180,000 total to improve this road from Stout Road to Lakeshore Parkway. So that's Calhoun Station inside of Gluckstadt for up to $180,000 that we will reimburse Gluckstadt for improving that road.
All right, do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Supervisor Banks, do I have a second? I'll second it. Discussion, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? And are we gonna use our current contractor to do this, or?
The engineer will have to answer
Okay,
that.
that's fine. We'll get that later on. Not a problem.
All right. So the third one is our interlocal agreement with the city of Flora. Flora made a request that they use our bid system, our term bid contractor, to pave two roads within the city of Flora up to $72,000. Odom Street and Gresham Lane inside the city of Flora, we'll use our term bid contractor to fix these roads. We will reimburse Flora for paying that bill up to $72,000.
Boom.
Got a motion Supervisor Banks, do I have a second? Second Supervisor Griffin, discussion, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed?
Thank you. All right. This fourth one is a resolution of this board to use the RETA facility, Regional Economic Development Alliance, which was spoken of already in this meeting. So there's a RETA Alliance that was created in 2020, that was culminated in 2021 to take the city of Canton, their municipal-owned utility, CMU, along with RETA and the board, to enter into a collaborative project under the RETA aegis approved by the state authorities to accomplish a project at the mega site. And that project was to bring utilities to the mega site, as we've heard before. The sewer, the water, all done by CMU, paid for by this board, paid for by a loan the board used to reimburse the state of Mississippi for that loan. But it was done through a RETA project. And I think as we heard today, that project has been successful and we're reaping the benefits of that utility project. Under the law, a RETA can have multiple projects. So I'm coming here today with a recommendation and a resolution that the same RETA that this board engages in with Canton, Makita, and CMU be used for another RETA project in a different area of Madison County, which is permissible, if all four entities agree. And this particular additional project is what we call the North Madison County Wastewater Development Project. So this project, if you approve it, would be a RETA project if the RETA entities agree to it. I've personally spoken to Joey Deason and his lawyer, Chris Pace. They approve this. It can be done. I've spoken in the past to CMU about the wastewater project. They agree. They're getting more customers, more service, and they agree to participate in the project. I've not spoken to the city of Canton, but really, they shouldn't have any trouble, but we have to include them in the RETA because they're in the RETA now. And they own CMU, so I'll speak to them later if you approve this. So this project would be, the RETA would take on a new project in District 5 to convert the areas there from septic tanks to sewer. And that includes the schools. All the schools operate on septic tanks. Everybody's on septic tank, no sewer. And many people believe that's maybe one reason why it's been slower to develop than other areas of our county. So the idea is for this board to approve its participation in a new project using the same RETA facility to do whatever an engineer has to do with CMU to bring sewer to that area. There's also a necessitating factor. This project is estimated to cost about $15 million to complete it. A RETA itself can fund projects in many different ways. You can bond it. You can use money from the general fund if the RETA agrees, but you also can pursue loans and grants. So there are a few of us, particularly the engineer, they've been diligently searching for funding opportunities, and we believe that we found one. It's an agency I know very well. It's the United States Department of Agriculture, Rural Utility Service, which funds these things all over the state of Mississippi, all over America, but they fund these from downtown Jackson. They do it through a series of grants, loans, together are a grant or a loan. The loan is for very low interest rates. So we have been speaking with Rural Utility Service. We have reason to believe that if an application is submitted on behalf of this sewer development projects, and this is what they fund, that application will be approved. I can't say it'll be the whole 15. I can't say what part will be a grant or what part will be a loan. I don't know that. But I know that we will qualify for this. And so we need to begin this project. So all the participating parties except Kenton, they've agreed to participate. The legal entity is here. It's been here since 2020, 2021. The need for sewer in an area of our county that's not growing as fast as others is there. And this is a readily accessible legal entity to do it. And that's what, there's a lot of pages of writing, but that's what it says.
Thank you, Mike.
I make that motion to approve.
Got a motion from Supervisor Griffin for approval, second Supervisor Banks, discussion.
All right, so where is the initial money coming from for this?
No money.
There's no money in this document at all. It authorizes the reader to engage in this project. The engineers have estimated that's been $15 million. And so as I mentioned before, we will pursue a USDA grant, a USDA loan, or grant for this project.
Is there any residential included in this?
Yes?
Why is Madison County getting into residential sewer? Don't we already have a branch of our government, per se, MACWA, that handles this? Why did,
I'm gonna let others answer that.
this is not proper for us to get into providing sewage to residential.
This is a development project for Madison County.
And we're using it under one provided for, basically AWS, which is on the other side of the county. How far away is this residential from the mega site?
The reader is a legal facility
It's not proper.
to do it.
It's not proper. You can say it's
It's
all
another,
day long, but
it's
not.
another project within the reader.
No, we're not in the sewer business. This should be a MACWA thing. This should be a CMU thing. If they want to provide sewer and not to flush their toilets.
MACWA doesn't service this, MACWA
MACWA
doesn't service this area.
Well, then the water provider is the one that needs to do this, or the developers that built the area need to do this. This is not for Madison County to pay for a resident to flush their toilets that already flush. They just have to have a septic system instead of a sewer treatment system. I'm gonna do a substitute motion right now to decline this. We do not need to be in the water business. We do not need to be doing anything for just in this capacity at all. This needs to be done through the proper channels, and this is not it.
All right, we have a motion on the table, a substitute motion on the table to reject this. Do we have a second?
I'll second it, but I
Got a second for further discussion.
further discussion. Usually with grants and loans, federal, whatnot, the entity, whether it be CMU or the county, somebody's gonna have to put up some money at some point. Would this be on CMU or MACWA to bond, or is it gonna be fall on the county?
This would be the reader. Just the reader for the mega site was, all the reader partners got together and said Madison County would be the principal sponsor of the reader.
So we'll be on.
The readers never had a meeting for the mega site, never. The county accepted the MDA loan for $216 million. And as you said, that we're gonna repay that from the, in lieu from the mega site. You heard that today. So that's the mechanism for the reader, for the mega site. For this one, the county would also be the sponsor of this project with the reader. So to repay the loan would be Madison County. Madison County is the sponsor of the project, the lead entity in the reader for a development project in the county. So the county will repay. If it's a grant, it's a grant.
I'm gonna have to agree with Casey on this one. I'm more interested in economic development of different type than residential sewer and, road building, so I'm gonna second his motion in favor of denial.
And I have another question.
Hold
Are there any-
on
Let
one
me-
second, Supervisor Banks,
Yeah, I'd like to say something.
then we'll
Yeah,
go
go
back to
ahead.
you.
First place, the sewer, that the reader would be dealing with in terms of getting sewer in the, northeastern area of Madison County. That sewer will service not just residential, there will be commercial development, we have an area that is not developing because there's no investment by the county to make it develop. I remember when there wasn't sewer, in the Lake Caroline area. We had to do things to develop Madison County. And we have done a great job of trying to develop Madison County since '84 on up to now. This is an area, an undeveloped area that we should turn our attention on to as a county and try to do whatever we can to help that area develop as well. It could also slow down some of the impacting growth in the area that we are spending so much money to build roads because all the cars are trying to go there, where we've got developable land in northeast Madison County that if all they need is a kickstart, and the kickstart would be to do something to create sewer line that will do that. We only got Beatty's Bluff and the line that helped create the development on the west side because we were lucky enough to get Nissan, and we said to Nissan, yeah, we're gonna build a sewer line, and we're gonna build this. We're gonna do these things. Well, you're not gonna get a Nissan in northeast Madison County or anything else in northeast Madison County until we make the effort first.
So you're saying Nissan came and we built the sewer lines, but now we can't get another Nissan because we aren't building sewer lines?
Well, no, I'm saying we can't get any development
Well,
in the northeast Madison
I
County
understand that,
because there's no municipal sewer. Once you start it, they will come. We as a board, our responsibility is developing all of Madison County. We don't have a board of supervisors just for South Madison County, just for West Madison County. We have a board of supervisors for Madison County as a whole. This is good practice to take care of the least of us.
Yep.
The northeast Madison County needs to be developed. It would be good for Madison County to help kickstart that developing.
I don't disagree
Yeah.
that northeast Madison County needs to be developed.
Mr.
But
President.
every other development we have done, sewer came after.
Mr. President.
Sewer was built by developers to be able to attach
No,
onto
sewer-
our stuff.
He
We
wasn't
made
here.
agreements.
He wasn't here.
But what you said is everywhere
That's
else
not true.
developed without us building the sewer first.
That's not true.
No.
We built the sewer first.
Yeah.
We built the sewer based on the fact that we needed it for Nissan. We built the sewer.
But after
That
Nissan
created-
agreed to come here, correct?
That was part of the agreement.
That's part of the
That
agreement.
was part
So
of the agreement,
we
yes.
had money
We
coming
had to do
in
it.
for this. This is speculative building. We don't need to be involved in speculative building.
This is not
Of sewer.
speculative building of sewer. This is what we know happens. It's been proven that if we can get municipal sewer, then the developments can hang off of it, and that's when you're gonna get it. You'll never have it if we think like you.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, the
Mr.
thing
President.
is it's not
Go ahead.
proper for us to do this. We build roads, we provide safety. We're not in the sewer business.
Mr.
Okay.
President.
I don't know
got-
about your property.
I got
Alright,
some.
Supervisor Griffin,
Yeah.
Supervisor Baxter will come to you in a second, please.
Just probably about 45 minutes ago, probably an hour hour ago, Casey, you voted against ARPA money going to Macklin. And this.
That's not true.
This,
That's not true.
oh yeah, you did.
No, I voted against us holding $4 million hostage
Well, anyway.
to force them to do what we wanted them to do.
You voted against
That's what I
ARPA money
voted
going
against.
against ARPA.
And I don't want any
Trey.
part of extortion
Trey,
from our
you-
branch of government to another.
You voted for it, and you voted for it, and I think it was the right thing. Trey, I'm gonna just say, with you, Casey, being on the board so short of a time, and you're not understanding reason you voted against this. That's what I'm saying, because voting against another project within the reader is just like Carl said, it's just a win-win situation.
What I understand in
so-
my
Hold-
short
hold-
time
hold-
here
hold on.
is
Hold-
that
no, hold on,
we
Casey.
have
Casey.
bills already
Casey.
accrued against this
Casey, we
project
have a supervisor
that we
talking.
cannot pay
Don't interrupt.
because the money is tied up in a lawsuit.
Casey.
And this is an attempt to circumvent the
No.
court.
All right, we got a motion
That
on
is
the
what
table.
this
Motion
is.
in a second.
We got a
Wait, I
motion
got
on
a
the
question.
table. Discussion's over.
When-
Supervisor Baxter. you-
When this is all built out and when there's ratepayers, who's gonna collect?
CMU.
Well, my question is, why doesn't CMU bond the money that's needed to build out the sewer lines? I mean, I'm not building power lines for Entergy.
All right, I'm gonna kinda answer to a degree, Mike.
Just to answer this question, the reader that was established for the mega site, we weren't in the sewer business either. You had to have a reader to associate with an entity with authority to do a sewer project, and that was CMU. So it was CMU, Canton, Makita, and the county that entered into a reader to do water sewer at the mega site. We could never have done that on our own because we didn't have authority. This is the same thing.
No, this is not the same thing,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
It's
AWS
another
financed,
project.
AWS financed that, and we're financing this. Our taxpayers are financing this, not a company
Right.
that needs it to operate.
Okay, this is where we are. Mike, you brought this in front of us because we're going after a grant from USDA.
Yes.
This is needed to put in that grant to see if we're gonna get a grant, to bring him back in front of this board to see if the grant is 50%, 80%, 100%, we don't know.
Correct.
And so each board member has said something up here, and partially I agree with each one of them to an extent. But today, if this is approved, it is totally to go towards the USDA grant.
Correct.
To see if we can get a grant, period, for it. So, motion on the floor, all in favor say aye.
What is
This is
the
the
motion?
motion to deny.
The motion is to deny, okay.
Deny motion.
All right, got a motion on the table to deny it, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.
No.
All right, we're going back to the original motion. All for approval, say aye. Aye. All opposed.
No.
So it passes 3-2. And again, all this does gives us what we need to fill out the application for USDA to see if we qualify for a grant. And if we do, how much of a grant to bring back to this board.
Correct.
It doesn't commit us to anything else at this point, from my understanding. So, all right, that's it.
It authorizes the structure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, Greg?
All right, Board, mine should be relatively brief. Item 84 is a request that y'all acknowledge the recommendation of the scoring committee. As part of the detention center work, this board requested that we put out either an RFQ for architects. The scoring is attached to your agenda there based on the committee that this board put together. The highest scorer was CDFL. So I'm asking that y'all acknowledge.
Who is TDFL?
CDFL is an architecture firm that builds a lot of jails. That seems to be what they do more of than anything else. After review by myself, 2 members of the sheriff's office, and David Marsh of Benchmark Construction, they came out as the best candidate.
All right.
Move.
All right, got a motion by Supervisor Banks. Do I have a
Second.
second? Supervisor Brandon, and for discussion. You know, this this started off as saving county money. Did we save any monies by doing this?
The fee was set at 6%.
Did we save any money by doing this?
That's your typical fee, so I don't necessarily think so in terms of architecture
Okay.
fees. No, sir, I
I'd
can't say.
I'd like to say
Hold
though
hold
that
on
we
one
got.
second, hold on. But one thing that we did do to come out of this, put a committee together to see the qualifications of the other architects.
Correct.
Yeah, okay, so that's what come out of this. It wasn't that the county saved money, as much as we just saw other architects, qualified architects.
Sure.
Okay, good deal, thank you.
Okay, 85, 86, and 87 are kind of
All
the.
right, all in
Oh,
favor,
I'm sorry.
say aye. Aye. All opposed?
That unanimous?
Yes.
Cool. All right, sorry about that. 85, 86, and 87 are the story of the Rogers Park bid. 85 is a request that this board reject the lowest bidder. The low bidder on this one was Bliss Construction, but they're off by about $130,000 in their calculation. They either forgot to do something or can't do math. Either way, we don't necessarily want them there if they don't want to be there.
Move. Thank you.
Got a motion Supervisor Banks, second Supervisor Griffin, discussion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed?
All right, now that we've rejected the lowest, the request is that you award it to the new lowest, which is Great Southern Recreation LLC.
Move.
Got a motion
Second.
Supervisor Banks, second Supervisor Griffin, discussion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed?
All right, now that we've awarded it, we would like y'all to sign the contract saying go do it.
Move.
Got a motion Supervisor
Second.
Banks, second Supervisor Griffin,
Sign the
discussion.
contract.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed?
All right, that's it for me.
Thank you, Greg.
Thank y'all.
Comptroller, Nassan White. Good morning.
Good morning. All right, number 88 is approval of the budget amendments and interfund cash transfer.
Make a motion for approval. Do I have a second?
Move.
Second Supervisor Banks, discussion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed?
Number 89 is the general claims docket.
Make a motion Supervisor Banks. Do I have a second? I'll second it. Discussion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed?
No.
And the next three items are the payroll dockets.
Move on payroll. Second.
Got a motion by Supervisor Banks, second Supervisor Griffin on payroll dockets. Discussion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed?
All right,
Thank you,
that's it.
Nassan. Mr. Lott?
Nothing, Mr. President.
Thank you. Sheriff?
See what time it is, afternoon, morning, good
Yeah.
morning.
I know I had to look as well after I said that.
Just a couple of short items here. If we could acknowledge the billing to MDOC in the amount of $5,500.
Got a motion? I'll make a motion. Do I have a second? Second Supervisor Banks. Discussion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed?
If we could acknowledge the June 2026 inmate meal log for your minutes.
Move.
Got a motion Supervisor Banks. I'll second. Discussion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed?
And before Greg has an opportunity to yell at me, and this was not on the agenda, Mr. President, but it is time sensitive. You're gonna see a lapse in federal inmate housing, because our IGA with the or with the U.S. Marshal Service has been expired for about a year and a half. And I have been trying to negotiate a new contract with them. That IGA takes about 90 days. It didn't go as well as we had hoped, and their rate was not what we had expected, especially since this board has approved moving forward with enhancing our facility largely due to federal inmate needs. So I told them to come get their inmates, and they did, which left us with no federal inmates, and that lasted about 4 days. And we have a new contract, and this is a limited use agreement for 90 days while the new IGA is being processed. But we went from $70 a day to $85 per day on each inmate. So
That's
it worked
great.
out really good for us in the long run. Not only that, the Immigration Customs Enforcement decided they wanted their own contract separate. They were paying $50 a day, and they will be back with us for $85 a day as well. So kind of made two contracts out of one, out of pretty substantial increase, which will help us with our facilities and paying for that facility. So if we could approve this limited use, Mike has reviewed it, gave his blessing. It's just like the old IGA. It's for 90 days. It's about $500,000 at $85 a day and $40 an hour for security officers for transport and hospital security, whatnot, of those federal inmates. If you want to review it first, but
Mike, got a motion by Supervisor Banks, I'll second it. Mike, you have reviewed it and you're okay with it?
Yeah, but Sheriff, is this the one I recommended a change? Because we don't do it to the end of the board term.
that was the Ally contract that was on the consent agenda. And it did have those changes in that contract. This is a brand-new contract for 90-day contract for housing strictly the federal inmates.
Okay. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed?
Sheriff, before you sit down, I've got a question for you.
Okay.
How are the retention rates since the board gave the jailers and the deputies raises?
Significantly better. Aside from the fact that a lot of my old timers like me are retiring now under the new law.
Yeah.
And that's what we were afraid of. I mean, I think it's a great thing, the new law, but we anticipated some loss under those, that retirement system, and their ability to come back at an 80%, so that they can jumpstart their benefits. And we've had some attrition, but we haven't had people just voluntarily leaving. They're doing it because of a financial plan, and some of them are coming back. So
Yeah.
All right.
it's been really good, especially in our detention side.
Thank you, Sheriff. Appreciate it.
Thank
Old
you.
business, new business. Do I have a motion to go into closed termination?
Motion.
Got a motion, Supervisor Banks, I'll second. Discussion, all in favor, say aye. Aye. We're gonna go in executive session because of what reason, Mike?
Personnel, for sure.
Yeah.
Is there anything else?
Well, no, I think they're both personnel things.
All right, personnel, do I have
All
a
right,
motion? to
wait. So, when we were at the Supervisors Convention recently, at the Board Attorney Seminar, the Ethics Commission Director, Tom Hood, appeared, and he had lots of recommendations for the lawyers. So that's one I took note of. So he said that there have been recent cases, and also recent complaints, where members of the public complained that when the boards went into executive session, they just said one or two words. If it was litigation, they said litigation. And if it was personnel, they said personnel. And he said that is not proper. It protects the board if when you are going into executive session, you alert the public completely with the words of the statute that allows you to go into executive session for that purpose. So I have a list of ways we go into executive session. And so we'll read this now, but for brevity, because these words must appear in the minutes as well. I talked to you and Stacy and Ronnie about, so I gave them this sheet. So someone must say verbally why you go into executive session, which then is transcribed into the minutes. So I don't know how we're gonna do it in the future, but right now we'll say this. You go into personnel, executive session personnel, subject to section 2541.7, subsection A. They're going into executive session for transaction of business and discussion of personnel matters relating to the job performance, character, professional competence, or physical or mental health of a person holding a specific position, or matters relating to the terms of any potential or current employment or services agreement with any physicians or other employees of public hospitals including any discussion of any person applying for medical staff privileges or membership with a public hospital. So that's the waterfront that covers your ability to go
Right,
into executive
right,
session
every time.
for personnel.
All right, thank you, Mike. Do I have a motion to go into executive session? Got a motion,
I gotta
Supervisor
say
Griffin?
all that?
No.
Second by Supervisor Banks,
Right, go
discussion.
right then every time we say that.
All in favor say aye.
Second.
Aye. Supervisor Banks did. All in favor say aye. Aye. Did what now?
I second.
No, Supervisor Griffin did. All right, we're in
I made the
executive session, at this point.
I made the motion.
How long you been married?
That's good.
How long you been married?
July the 20th.
All right, thank you. All right, we're back in session. Mr. Lott,
Madison County Board of Supervisors took no action during executive session.
have a motion to adjourn to July the 20th at 9 a.m. I'll make that motion. To have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Second, Supervisor Brandon, discussion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed. Thank y'all, fellas.
That works for me.